Xin Chào from Daang, Vietnam. After 2 really long days of searching, we finally found a place that feels like home. If you missed our house hunting video, you can check that out next. Today, we want to show you the inside of our apartment, the Sun Tron neighborhood, and answer all of the questions that we had before coming here to help make your transition to Daang, Vietnam easier. Stay tuned! So you're probably wondering why we're renting an apartment here in Vietnam when hotels, even on the beach, are only like $30 a night. For a couple of reasons. 1, we wanted to focus on our vlogging, and 2, we're slow-mads. We like to spend a month or so in each place as we travel, and by getting an apartment, not paying for flights, we can stay here in Vietnam for 6 months at a much lower cost without any house sitting. All we have to do is worry about visa runs. If you're interested in learning about our visa runs, that vlog should be coming out soon. So there are a lot of different things to worry about when getting an apartment in Daang or in Vietnam. One of the biggest ones is mold. And our apartment had it when we first moved in. There was mold in the bathroom, mold in the bedroom, but we were able to totally eradicate it within the first week of moving in with just a couple of tricks. We'll show you those a little bit later. Okay, so I have to tell you, our first impression, because there is no lobby, you go directly into the basement, wasn't high. But I think our apartment and our situation is the perfect example of why not to judge a book or a building by its basement. So this is our apartment. We were super excited to snag this apartment. It was actually never even listed. So our favorite agent that we were working with showed us another apartment in the building. Someone else put a deposit on and rented before we were able to get it. We were pretty disappointed, and he reached out, found out that this apartment was becoming available. So once he had the inside scoop that this apartment was available, we put 2 million Daang down to hold it, which is about 75-80 USD. And we did that with cash. We were a little hesitant because we had heard that that can go some different ways. However, he had assigned formal documentation and let us take pictures of his ID, so we felt pretty good about it. So the monthly rent for this apartment, hey, real quick. One thing people always ask us about when traveling is what do we do if we need to go to the doctor or get counseling? Safety Wing has 2 types of coverage, essential and complete, which can cover you all over the globe in over 175 different countries. Even if you already have traveler's health insurance, they can cover you for lost luggage, theft or burglary, or even cancer treatment overseas if you need it. So go to our link below, check them both out, essential and complete, and figure out which one is right for you and your next adventure. So the monthly rent for this apartment was initially 11.5 million Daang. We agreed to a 6-month lease, and the landlord agreed to decrease the price to 11.2 million Daang. So we were super excited about that. That meant with the initial deposit, the first month's rent, and the first month down, the total was about $850 US. So other than the initial cash deposit, we used the Wise app. So we'd never used Wise before. It's an app that you can transfer money either from a credit card, a ATM like bank card, or directly from your account. The first time we did it with a credit card, we didn't realize how high the fees were for that. So every time after, we've done it with our bank account. An important tip is to transfer it in Vietnamese Daang. When we transferred it in US dollars, then inside the app we had to convert it, and the conversion rate was not as good as our bank gave us. So our tip would be make sure when you transfer it from your bank to the Wise app that you transfer it in Vietnamese Daang. Our agent was great about helping us negotiate the price and about listening to our requests. If you want to learn more about how we found our agent initially, you can check out that video next. Our big requests were having a pool, a fully stocked kitchen, we'll show you what that means in a second, and a bathroom that has a glassed-in shower. If you're watching from America or the UK, these might sound like totally normal amenities, but here they're actually quite unique and a little bit difficult to find. But anyway, let's show you this fully equipped kitchen that we have. So we have a nice big refrigerator. This is actually pretty large. A lot of units, they're about this big. And with 2 of us, we wanted more storage in the freezer. It's been really easy shopping and finding our ingredients. either at the local fresh markets or at the big hyper mega markets.
Then we purchased this guy. This cost almost about a quarter of our rent. So I think this is like 100 USD, but this is our toaster oven. So it's a brand new little oven, and this is all we have for, you know, cooking. They don't use ovens here, so this is what we get. Then there's a sink. Woo! We bought a rice cooker, and then there's this induction stove. So this is not common in all units. Not only is this an induction stove, but it's 2 burners and it's built in. So sometimes in some of the apartments, they say they'll add one for you, but it's just a plug-in and it, you know, electric, like a hot pot eye or something. Anyway, then we also have a microwave, which is really nice. And then this is not a dishwasher, it's a washing machine. So this is also part of our laundry room. The other part is the bathroom. I'll show you that in a little bit.
One thing I think we should mention, because nobody told us about it before we started our house hunting, when you're looking at listings on Facebook Marketplace, you're looking listing by listing and you might talk with 60 different agents. We'd heard that a lot of people got scammed and lost their deposits and these horror stories, so we thought it was more important to establish a relationship with just a couple of agents. And we narrowed it down to 3. Why 3? Because not every agent has access to all listings. So there are some different databases owned by different companies. For example, the Forest Green apartment that we were really in love with was owned by Hobbyland. So the agent that we actually got this apartment from couldn't show us that listing because he's with the KISS group. And there are just a couple of different groups. You could probably have just 2 to 3 agents and be able to see almost all the listings in Daang. One of the other agents, her expertise was more of the houses, but we quickly learned that our budget was not big enough for houses with pools. So we cut those out and narrowed it down to just apartments and condos. So that's just our personal preference. Of course, a ton of people do it via the listings, and that works out great for them. Whatever works best for you.
Small space living, we do find ourselves constantly moving this fan around and then finding ways to get things up out of the way and use the vertical space. So we bought this for the knives. This is 3M like Velcro plastic hooks to put this up. The hooks already came on the wall. This one is so crooked. If you have OCD like me, this is driving you crazy. And then we got a cutting board per usual, but then we cannot plug the rice cooker into this type of outlet. So we have like a bus outlet we put behind the refrigerator, and that runs the toaster oven, but it also runs the rice cooker. So if we want either more cutting board space or we want to make rice, we pull this guy out. Small space living, everything needs to be 2 things. And we just plug this guy in, the cord is right here. And we make rice here, and we can chop things here. And it gives us a little more space if we're not needing the sink. Up here we have added some shelves. So these are just one big cupboard. And we had to, like, when we first got here, there's a cleaning lady that comes to our apartment 4 times a week. It's pretty standard in Vietnam, but they're so busy with cleaning the whole building, cleaning the stairwells, the hallways, and then coming in and cleaning your apartment, changing out your linens, that some of the details get missed. So our first couple of days here, we were washing out cupboards and things and just bringing it up to sort of our standards. But we added these little shelves in on both sides to really give us more space. So this is sort of our kitchen cabinet area with all of our dishes and things. And then this is our pantry. And little baskets and things really help make it a lot easier too. So, and then up here we have our spices and oils and things like that. Pretty much sums up the kitchen. This does pop out, which is cool when we're cooking. This here is we got wall hooks, again 3M, so that we don't hurt the walls. But that way we could get our broom and mop hung up. Okay, so some of the prices of these things. This mop and broom and dustpan were $1 US. So pretty great. All right, let's go to the bathroom. So this is our bathroom / laundry room, and it's a little bit tiny. So we did a couple of different things in here. One, Stephen was in here sweating and scrubbing all the tiles. Problem here with the high humidity and the heat is mold. So there was a lot of mold. There was mold all around here in the sink. There was mold in some of the tiles and things. So we got to work, but we got a couple of products cleaning supplies and things. This one though I want to show just because this is the miracle worker. This one does the heavy lifting. So it's made for like inside your washing machine, the ring to get the mold out of that. But it works on everything. So we put it around here, we put it on the towels in the shower and everything, and just leave it on for several hours. It soaks in, and if it doesn't get everything the first time, you just do a second or third application. It's amazing. I have no idea what it's called. I don't know the brand or anything, but it's a lifesaver. So then we got a shelf here to hang our towel, get a couple things off the counter. Because the counter is so small, to really make the bathroom feel more spacious, we try to get things up and off the counter. I got all these on, I think Temu actually. Temu ships here also. So toothpaste and things, and then our toothbrushes. And it just adds a fun little style. Then some organizing things. These, because this is our laundry room, these hang from this bar to that bar and really add a lot more drying space for us. We have 3 of those. I got these little bins on Lazada. And this is the toilet, nothing fancy, after being in Japan, you know. But one thing that they do that's different is almost everywhere you go they have these. So after you use the toilet, a lot of places you do not flush your toilet paper. You put that in a bin next to it, and then you rinse off the toilet. They even rinse off the toilet seats and things sometimes. We don't do that. And then you can also use it to cleanse yourself, like a bidet if you would like. I haven't done that. Japan has spoiled me. I don't know if Stephen does it. And I don't want to forget our new little friends here. So, like I said, we have a plant thing going on. This is Bruce Wayne. Mini pets, since we can't, you know, we're not pet sitting right now, which we're used to. We're used to having buddies. This is Alfred. This is our glassed-in shower. Don't mean to brag, but it's pretty cool around here. This is unique. We were just at a meetup with some people talking about their shower woes, and we said, yeah, that was one of, not mine, but Steven put that on the list as a must, and we're very grateful. Especially since this is also where we hang the laundry. So what we do, because it's really humid here and it doesn't dry very quickly, we squeegee the floor after we shower, and so it just takes the water towards the drain, and that helps it dry, I don't know, hours and hours faster than it would without it. These are super functional. They're not just for design. The heat from the window in here, which I'll move it so you can see our view. I'll open it for a second because it's gonna be hot air. Gorgeous view, sounds of the city, and we don't hear it with the door closed, but we love that view. We had no idea we were gonna end up with a view. It was not part of our requirements. It wasn't something we expected. We didn't think it was in our budget. So it was just a super fun surprise, and we're so grateful. It makes, you know, getting up in the mornings and even in the evenings at night, the city lights up, the buildings, the lights dance, and it's super cool. But anyway, just a quick show here of our little shelves that we got. So you can see they're on these plastic stickies. And then this just like screws onto the front. But that's holding everything up. That's holding both of the boys, the fish up. This is my soap dish. Super cute little kitty. And then this shower, real quickly, is a rain shower. Then it has the handle for the shower, and then it also can be like a foot wash, or you can, you know, fill up buckets for mopping and things like that. So 3 different features, very cool. They fit so much into a small space. All right, so that's our laundry room / bathroom. And now I'll take you into our dining area. And this is it. This is the whole dining room. We are so grateful to have this though, and a sofa. The dining table was not necessarily on our list, but the sofa for sure was. We had originally considered a studio because of our price range, and then you don't get either the dining or you don't get the sofa. You can't get it all. But anyway, things are so inexpensive here. It's really great. Although I did get Temu'd, I'll show you that in a second. I thought I got a big rug for my side of the bed. And anyway, it's smaller than a coffee table. But we ordered these. So one thing I found out is that like on the website, some things are in English and I can search on Lazada in English, but the products often aren't in English. And you get tired of like taking a screenshot, going to Google Translate, translating everything. So sometimes there's the cheapest option and then there are these other options. And so I get the cheapest one, and I found out what I was clicking on was like assorted or miscellaneous, which means they pick the style, which is like whatever style isn't selling, that's what they're gonna send you. So we have this one for this side, which it actually goes with the blue sofa, so I was impressed with that. But we got these because sitting on these hard wooden chairs wasn't too comfy. And then got this one that's just white, so they didn't, like, they're not even the same, which again bothers me, but they were like 50 cents for this huge padded chair cushion, so you can't be mad. I can't help a deal. And then this is our water hydration station. So you can drink the water here. It's not suggested, mostly because of arsenic but mercury, or I don't know. Anyway, you can brush your teeth with it. They say just check apartment to apartment. So the hot water and things, there's a water tank on the top of almost every apartment building. And if your landlord doesn't take good care of those, then you can get parasites and worms and things in your water. Either way, if you don't want to take your chances, you can get water delivered. So we have a really cool water guy. If you text him, he's here in like 5 minutes. I don't know how far away he is, but he's never further than 5 minutes away. And we had to pay a deposit for the bottle and then the water. But anyway, it's super cheap, worth it. That way you don't have to worry. We use this even to like make our rice, but not to wash our vegetables and things like that. If you were here just for like a week, you could totally drink the water at the hotel if you wanted to, even though they'd probably provide some bottled water. But long term, they suggest this is just being easier. All right, then our living room, which we've decorated a little bit here. We got some plants to have some live things around here. I got Timu'd, or what is what they say, I think. But that was supposed to be a bedside rug. And again, it was like $1, but so were like, you know, these cushions and different things. So it's hard to tell what the prices are gonna be. This was only, I think, $4. So, you know, I thought this might be big. Then this is our ottoman that we got. So the coffee table was originally here, but we wanted to put our feet up sometimes. And it's a nice storage space, which is super important because storage space, even though they did a great job of adding cupboards and things, it's still limited. So it's really great to have more of that. And then we jazzed up the sofa with some pillows. So these came with it, but these we ordered and this white one. And so it just, I think, I don't know, makes it look really classy and comfortable. We each like to use a couple of pillows. If we're sitting, working on our laptops, we like to put, you know, one on our lap, one behind us, put our feet up. This isn't comfy. It's all made out of like cardboard. Like I said, it's like $4. So we put this over here and we throw our feet up. And that's how we relax and watch TV. It's a lot of, like I said, moving things around, like moving the cutting board for the rice cooker, moving this to the chair and then moving it here. Like you just keep moving things around for small space living. And then the view. It's beautiful. It's beautiful during the day. Right now we would not have the curtains open because this heat is, I can feel it even from here. But as you get closer, it's super hot. Like it's just, the heat comes in. But we like wait, like as soon as it's, what, 10 o'clock or so? Steven's like throwing them open because as soon as the sun gets up, we can still get the light and we don't get the heat, and so that's great.
So we absolutely love this neighborhood. First of all, we're only about 2 blocks from the beach, nice short walk. It's super safe, quiet, and very convenient. There's actually a convenience store right in the bottom of our building on the first floor. So even when it's pouring down rain, monsoons, we don't have to go in the rain to get anything.
This is insane.
And this is our TV, which we haven't watched TV on, but we do like to relax, watch something streaming from our laptop. So we got a cord so we can plug in our laptop. It's not the best quality TV, but it came with the apartment, so
Yeah,
they just
TV,
can't be choosers.
microwave,
Yeah.
dishes,
Oh yeah, the dishes. They had them all set up super cute when we got here.
all came with the apartment, which is great.
Yeah. You get 2 cups, 2 plates, 2 bowls. And then our bedroom. So the fact that we have a 1 bedroom is really exciting for us. It may not be that big of a excitement for you, but this is a huge bedroom, especially in our price range. The building is a bit older. You can see this is a good wall for it. But anyway, you can find some cracks. Up here by the AC, there's some cracks too. But the price and the size for us is just phenomenal. So it has this huge built-in closet area. this nice big, it's actually like a king size bed. And then all this built-in desk, make it like a vanity area, thank you. And then the view, again. This is my side of the closet. So I hang my purse in here, again, small space living, and then the clothes. But then I got these little bins because I don't have a lot of organization on my side. And then this is Steven's side. So I got the drawer on my side, and then he got these different shelves. A lot of places we saw didn't have closets, so we were ready to get one of those stand-up organizing rack things. And anyway, super surprised, very happy. This is one of the cute things they do here. I bought this one for here and then one for the kitchen. So it's just a little jelly thing that keeps the door from slamming into the wall. I think it's so cool, I love it. And then we have up top, things that we don't use, things that we don't need. And then our bed, so they changed the linens in most apartments for you. What we've done is actually purchased our own sheets because Steven is tall, he's 6'5", but we've turned this long way so that it goes all the way down to the end, but that means it barely goes to the sides of the edges. So we got sheets that at least are a bit bigger. She'll still, I think, launder them for us. They come in and she changes, you know, the duvet cover, the pillowcases and things like that. We're gonna take care of these. We like a lot of pillows, so we've purchased extra pillows, but it came with 2 pillows and 2 pillowcases. But we now have 6. So, and then I have a little nightstand over here. Steven is currently using the chair for the vanity area as his nightstand. It's really hard for us to decide how much, like, to move in, so to speak, because again, like the toaster oven, where does it go and what do we do with it while we're traveling, like, you know, when we travel, when we're not here, if we're back in the States. Right now he says the chair's working great, so we're not doing it. But yeah, little things like that. You guys want to see this view? This is what we get to wake up to in the morning. We have that, I don't know if you can see it right now because the coloring, the sun's so bright, but we have a little peekaboo ocean view. Anyway, we had no idea. We did not expect a view here at all. We're super impressed.
So our monthly rent, as we've already mentioned, is 11.2 million dong. Our electricity is 4,000 dong per every kilowatt hour, which so far, like last month, was around 2.5 million dong. It was really hot. We run our ACs during the day, whichever room we're in, and then all night while we're sleeping. The fees for water, elevator, trash, and swimming pool are 150,000 dong per person. So for the 2 of us, that's an additional 300,000. And then finally, our monthly cleaning is 200,000. So it's 50,000 per cleaning, and she comes 4 times a month.
All right, so here are our pros and cons. Some of the cons are no lobby, no gym.
Which wasn't a deal breaker for us because we'd already looked at a lot of apartment gyms and decided we'd probably have to join a bigger gym anyway. So it was going to be an additional expense for almost any apartment we decided on. The pros: pool, city view, great layout, and of course, the price.
Like and subscribe to see more of our Vietnamese adventures.
Would you live in this building for this price? Let us know in the comments below.
All right, if you're new around here, I'm Steven.
And I'm Elaine.
Wishing you safe
And enjoyable adventures. Goodbye.